52 years old and I live in Belfast, Northern Ireland. I live in a predominantly Protestant estate called Blackmountain. I have lived here most of my life. There is a wall which runs along my estate and separates it from another estate called Spring Hill, which is predominantly Catholic. The wall is 40 feet high and about a mile long. Bernadette is from Spring Hill, and our paths have never crossed, even though she just lives a stone's throw away from me. As Catholics go to Catholic schools and Protestants go to Protestant schools. In recent years, an integrated school has evolved called Hazelwood. It is a secondary school, and my grandson Curtis attends there. On the Catholic side of the wall, there is many facilities, shops, doctors, dentists, etc. On the Protestant side, we have one shop, a community centre, and little else, if truth be told. Our community centre arranges a lot of groups for both men, women and children, and I have always liked to help out there. It was there that I first joined a cross-community group for women, and we meet, have a chat, cup of tea, we do arts and crafts, various other activities, and enjoy a bit of crack.
Hi, my name is Barney. I come from a place called Spring Hill in West Belfast. I'm 58, married to Don. I have 2 children, Antoinette 26 and Daniel 21. I have 2 grandchildren, Ronan 5 and Blackie age 3. Up until I was about 8, my family travelled a lot as my father was in the Royal Air Force. So it wasn't until about 1969 that my family settled back in Belfast, which was about the time the trouble started, and it was very, very scary times. But as I was young, I just didn't realise what danger was. As I said, I have 2 children. I sent both my children to the Irish school rather than a state school, even though I don't speak Irish myself. My son and daughter are both fluent Irish speakers, and I'm very proud of them both. My daughter is now teaching Irish to preschool children. So the area I live in, there's about 1,600 houses. For most of the early years, there were no play facilities for us or our children. In fact, as I was a young girl growing up, I had nothing, we had no parks, no centres, we just played in the street. But thankfully we have facilities now.
A memory that I have back when I was about 5, I'm sure you're saying a long time ago, but it just sticks in my mind, is that I lived in a small kitchen house with my mum and dad. We didn't have a garden, we just had a small backyard, and out there was our toilet. One time during the Troubles, I remember being awakened with a really loud bang. I got up and ran into my parents' room, not knowing what the noise was. It turned out that a nail bomb had been thrown at our house, at our home, and it had blew a large hole in the roof. And when I looked up, all I could see was the blue sky. When I looked down, my mum was shouting to my dad, as he was still in bed under the covers, covered in debris and nails, and was still sleeping. He then worked at Aldergrove Airport as a telephonist and had just got off night shift and into bed. Luckily, no one was hurt, not even my dad. After this event, we had to move house, and although our plumbing issues have moved along greatly, as we have indoor plumbing now, our empathy for each other has a long way to go.
Right. I'm also in the process of starting up a women's group in my area, for the reason being, a lot of women, young and old, are isolated. I know a lot of women who do not get ready. They just sit in the house all day because there's nothing for them to do. At present, I'm working with 10 women. I organise classes for them and therapies, wee days out. It just gives them a wee purpose and has made a lot of difference to their lives. A lot of women suffer from mental health issues, depression and addiction to prescription drugs. So we meet on a Tuesday night for a wee cup of tea and a chat, and it means a lot to them.
After this, my nanny took sick and we moved to Blackmountain to be closer to her. And yes, this time we got a house with a bathroom. When I was 9, I got a baby brother called William, and I have lived in Blackmountain ever since. I have reared my family here, and I have 3 daughters and 2 sons. I also have 7 grandchildren, 5 girls and 2 boys, and all my family live around me in this estate. As you may imagine, my house is never empty and often chaotic, but I wouldn't have it any other way. as I love all my family very much, and I am missing them immensely, even though I'm really enjoying this experience. I'm really homesick.
Okay, but there was a lot of rioting and shooting and bombings in 1971. My parents feared for our safety, so they decided to take us to Birmingham, thinking, you know, to take us out of the conflict. We lived there until 1974. Unfortunately, while we were there, my younger brother was killed in an accident, and my parents just couldn't cope, so they brought us back to Belfast. That's when we moved into Springhill Avenue, which is directly facing Blackmountain. And the conflict was at its worst. At that point, there was rioting and shooting and a lot of bombing.
Last year, my daughter, my baby Nikita, who's now 17, joined a group called Friends Forever. And through this group, she has met up with other teens from both Protestant and Catholic backgrounds. They met up every week, done activities together, and fundraised to come to New Hampshire last year. From Nikita has come back from here, she has a better understanding of what her goals in life will be, and she has a greater confidence in herself. She has also met great friends, and they are all very close even now, and this would never have happened only through Friends Forever. So with Friends Forever, we're going to take a women's cross-community group to New Hampshire. I jumped at the chance to experience all that she had done, and hopefully come home with new abilities to try to help my community back home, as the only way to move forward is with both our communities working together. Donna works for Blackmountain Action Space, and she is always creating new ways to try and help our communities on both sides, and she will always give you 100% if you just ask. Paula works in our community centre, and she works for Blackmountain Action Group. She works tirelessly to help our community, from babies to elderly. There is always something on in our centre to get involved in, and if it wasn't for her work, patience and time spent with Friends Forever, we wouldn't be here today.
I came from a family of 6. I had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Unfortunately, I have lost a brother and a sister to cancer, and my younger sister has fighting cancer since she was 39. My younger brother Dennis passed away in January this year, 56, and my older sister Alice passed away in April 2017, age 58. It's still quite raw to me, and as we were very, very close family. So I just like to say that I enjoy working, really enjoy working with the cross community. I feel both sides have suffered a terrible lot. I think it's about time we start building bridges for our sake and our children and our grandchildren. As future generations, I would not like them to experience what I have for most of my childhood and my teenage years. As children, we didn't have a choice in the matter, but as adults we do. And I feel by coming together, we can and will make a difference for our children and our children's children. Thank you.